Hello, 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 butterflies. Welcome to Beyond Single Motherhood. I am Coach Risa. I am the founder and CEO of Fli LLC. I help busy single moms say yes to themselves so that they can make their dreams come true before the empty nest. And tonight we have a special guest with us that is going to help us close out our celebration of Single Moms Month. Hi, LaToya.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yes, this is the first time I probably sat down and took a breather today, so I'm good.
Look, I understand that. We have LaToya Wilson with us tonight, and I'm going to let her introduce herself instead of me doing it because I know you can do it better than me. So, LaToya, tell people who you are, what you do.
All right, my name is LaToya Wilson. Other than being a mother and a teacher and a writer, I am also the proud founder and CEO of Codeswitch Ministries, which is a nonprofit that supports single parents. And the mission behind Codeswitch Ministries is to educate and inspire single parents to live a life of spiritual freedom, prosperity, and self-sufficiency. So that's the end goal, that's the vision. But one thing that we do right now, it's a newly formed nonprofit, but what we do is we provide baby necessities for single parents with children with the ages of 0 to 12 months, and if they are expecting. And we are getting ready to prepare for our next event within the next few months. So yeah, I'm excited.
That sounds great. That sounds awesome. I had the privilege of attending your community baby shower that you did last year, and it was great. You definitely didn't hold nothing back. The food was good. You had photographers. All the moms left being feeling uplifted and with resources that they needed, and they all got gifts with the necessities and things that they needed with the babies that were on the way. That was great. That was great.
Yes,
So
God did his thing.
yes, he did. So tell us, how many children do you have and how old are they?
Okay, I have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. Olivia is oldest, she's 15. And my boys range in age from 12. Look, I'm losing track. 9, and 1 is getting ready to turn 7 on tomorrow. Yeah, see, that means I have too many.
Oh, oh wow. Okay. So you got a birthday boy in the house, huh?
Yes, that's a boy in the house. And he's constantly reminding me every few seconds too. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yep, I understand. Look, my daughter, she used to figure out and want birthday the next day after her birthday for the next year. So I understand. I understand. So Butterfly Fly is basically about helping single moms say yes to themselves. And with you being a single mom, a a founder of a nonprofit, you're a teacher, you have all these things going on. How do you say yes to yourself?
Well, it started maybe a couple of years ago. Um, I had just arrived back in town from dropping my boys off in another state, a lot of hours away. And when I finally got home, I laid in bed and I leaned back, and the Lord said, "This is a gift. This is a gift." He kept repeating it. And I thought, my God, this is a gift because I've been a single parent for quite some time now, but I've never had a break from them until this point a couple of years ago. And when he told me in that still small voice that this is a gift, it gave me such a revelation. It was a gift because he was allowing me to experience what he designed for my life before having children. Because for subsequent years, it was constant hardship. I mean, I felt like an embattled single mother, and I couldn't find to get a breather. Like, where is the breakthrough coming? Where is the breakthrough coming? And so I said, he told me it was a gift because I was able to discover the woman in me. Like, I was still getting my nails done and my hair done. But at that moment, I tapped into the woman, LaToya, that I never got to know. I never got to experience. And I was able to leave the house, stay out late. I was eating in the living room. I didn't care. I was enjoying discovering myself as a woman. And so that was the beginning. That catapulted me into saying yes to me, you know, recognizing that I am worthy of everything that God allows me to have. And that it's okay to recognize that when I take off all the hats, here's this woman that sometimes has insecurities, that's vulnerable, sometimes scared. And I recognize I took the pressure off of me of knowing that I say yes to me by knowing I can't be 100% at everything every day. So that is how I say yes to me. I take the pressure off myself and just say, I was a woman before I was a mom. I'm just a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. Wow, that is awesome. And that is something, and I hope that, you know, that helps a single mom to, you know, just realize, like you said, that you're a woman before you're a mom, you know, and to take care of yourself. And just like I say, sometimes don't be so hard on yourself, you know. I know right now we have a lot going on with the coronavirus, and, you know, things are uncertain with certain things that are going on in the world. And being a single mom, I know that right now is more difficult for some moms than others. And yeah, so that is something that we have to try to figure out in this time while the kids are home, to remember that we are more than just single moms, you know. That is really good. That is really good. So okay, okay, we talked about you saying that with knowing that you are more than a single mom, you're a woman, you take the pressure off yourself. And like I said, right now things are a little uncertain with some of us. How do you deal with the uncertainty in being a single mom in a time like this? What can you offer for single moms?
Well, I tell you, God is really good about reminding us so that we never forget. I think about this season here, and I compare it to previous seasons, and it was a lot worse. And it wasn't us being struck by a virus that we don't have a cure for. You know, I think about just times where I was put out of a job, not because of the government, because of the employer, and had to figure out how was I going to pay the rent, you know. But at the same time, God was still allowing us to never have a day of hunger. You know, I think about being home. I remember a consistent income, you know, to be able to take care of the needs of my family. And so I compare it between this season and then now, and I understand how some single parents may not have the blessing of being home and getting paid and whatnot, because I've been there. But I'm reminded that it's always God that's been pushing and pulling me through. Even when people say, how do you do this? My answer before used to be, well, I don't know. I just do it. But as I matured and recognized, wow, God, it was always you. It was always you. It was always you, how I was able to carry heavy loads and still be pregnant and never miscarry, you know. So I think that if we can survive and we are reminded of those really hardship seasons, you know, then surely we're going to get through with this. I have enjoyed this season, actually. I mean, the first couple of weeks, I was just like, I'm feeling off balance here. This is weird. But it allowed me to tap back into the family a little bit more. You know, it's allowed me to get home straight that I wasn't able to do from working 7-8 hours a day, and then going to whatever the second half of responsibilities are of us being single parents. So that is my word of encouragement, is think about where God brought you from and where now, and he totally sustains. I went to the store today and everybody's still shopping. Everybody's still buying things, even with things shut down. And yes, the stock market has gone down, but people are still spending money,
Yep.
so God's got it.
Yeah, God definitely has got it. And that is something. One thing is, like you said, basically, this isn't our first time experiencing a hardship or an uncertain time, especially as single moms. If anybody knows how to deal with what's going on today, I'm with you. Definitely will be us single moms. And we just have to, like you said, think back on how he came through before, and I was saying the other week, like, it's the same God. It's different circumstances and situations, but it's the same God. So same God, different situations. We are more than single moms. We have to remember to embrace the moments that we have right now. But what is something that you do to help decrease and get rid of the negative self-talk that can creep in, that self-doubt? He made a way before, but it seems like it's easier now. But then how sometimes something can happen with the kids, and the next moment you're like, oh, I'm not so sure I can make it through this. What's your advice for moms with that?
Well, I tell you, it's good to have a circle of people, that you can call on and vent and say, look, I'm feeling this certain kind of way. And they are right there with you. They lead you back to God, or either they say, okay, listen, they listen to you and then give you advice. But then I have found recently, when fear creeps up, because we have to be careful that we're not operating under the spirit of fear. We all deal with it in many different facets. But when I'm finding myself, okay, I see something before me, am I not moving because I see that the situation might be threatening, or am I not moving because of the spirit of fear? And so sometimes people won't answer the phone. You're trying to come out of, get off the wall and come off the slump, and take the first step. But sometimes God makes it where people are not available. And so in this season, I want to call people to get their advice on what I should do. And he's not allowing them to be available. So then it puts me back into position where I'm like, all right, okay, God, look, I'm scared. I am scared. I see what's in front of me. I don't know how you're going to do it. And then it's literally just taking the first step and knowing that if no one else is around, then I might have to pump myself up. I might have to encourage myself to get up, because people don't see right now that I might be afraid, but behind the scenes, I am. I'm on the floor, crying out to God like I'm afraid, and not so much afraid of taking the first step. I'm afraid of even to stand up. So I have to, sometimes for me, I have to say, why am I sitting here? Why am I sitting here? Get up, get up. So it's more or less, you have to learn how to pump yourself up. You got to talk to yourself, because there is power in the words that we speak and what we put in the atmosphere. People say sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true. Words. Right. If they didn't have power, then the Lord wouldn't have said life and death is in the power of the tongue, So those same words, that people will tell you, get up. You have to tell yourself that when no one else is available, because you can't rely on people all the time to get you motivated, So it comes a point where it's just you and God. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. Pump yourself up, butterflies. Look, it's gonna be okay. LaToya is here to remind you it's gonna be okay. You know, if people don't answer the phone or respond to your text message or whatever the case may be, pump yourself up. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. That's really good. So, what are some things, let's say if there's a single mom that's watching that may not be dealing with self doubt and having difficulty right now with the coronavirus and, you know, the things that are being shut down. What do you say to the mom who's feeling secure in that aspect, but unsure of themselves of starting their dream? Moving towards, maybe they want to start a nonprofit like you have, or maybe they want to become a coach or start designing or start putting some things together. What is something that you did when you started Codeswitch Ministries that you can share to encourage other single moms?
Well, let me tell you, I think for most of us as women, we are planners. You know, we know how to take a seed of something and make it grow. For me, last year, probably around February, March, I was just like, Lord, I feel like I want to do another baby shower because I had did one years ago. But at that time, there was no paperwork. As far as Codeswitch Ministries, no one really knew about it except me. And I would randomly just tell people, I want to do this baby shower for expecting single moms. And I was afraid because I was thinking about the legal portion of it. I don't want to do something and get caught, go to jail. What if people think I'm stealing the money and all of this? How is it going to work? You know? And
Yeah.
I had to sit back down, and the Lord said to me, he said, I had you in your sinful days. I had you covered when you were doing your own thing. I
Wow.
definitely have you covered now that you are working towards fulfilling my mission. And when he said that, I said, okay. And I took the first step. And so bit by bit, he was showing me I'm in this. I had learned that he wasn't telling me instruction because he was waiting for me to take the first step. And in that, yes, I was scared. It was an uncertainty until the day of the baby shower event. But to encourage any butterflies who's like, you know what? I want to start this thing, but I don't know how to start. Who are the people? My advice is just start. That's it. I was finding that even certain people that was meant to give me advice on how to fill out an LLC paperwork and how to fill out the paperwork for a nonprofit, non-stock corporation is what it's called. It was just people sent at that time to help me, and then I never spoke to them again. But I had to take the first step, scared and all, you know, because we are only managers. I look at myself as just the manager of Codeswitch Ministries. I don't own it. The Lord does. And so I have to constantly consult him on what the next steps is for this ministry. God, you know, in my failures, you know, in my insecurities, you know, in my mistakes. Even now, sometimes I'm like, you sure you want me to do this? You sure you're calling to meet this over here? But he knew all of that. He knew all of that, our weakest areas before we were even born. But yet he still trusts you. So again, just take the step. Just take the step, especially if you're going to, you have to keep God in the forefront. He constantly leads and you follow. It is not going to work for any business for a single mother who's pursuing it if they're doing it for their own self-gain.
Yeah.
It has to be a target audience. It has to be a purpose on why they're doing it. It is not to earn a dollar. You know, yes, we want those things and that will come. But if it's just to edify yourself, you're doing it because everyone else is doing it. It seems like a trend. It's not going to last, you know, and in that it's just frustration will come because you're doing it on your own terms instead of recognizing we're the managers. God, you're the owner. Okay, show me how to do this thing. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Look, you are on it. You are on it. Yeah. So just take that first step and just start. You know, like they say, he is a lamp unto our feet. He is the one who will light the path, you know, for us to take. And sometimes we can be so busy with the things that we have, the responsibilities that we have, that we know that, but it's like, okay, all right, it's not until we really have to do something or be obedient to what he's telling us to do, that we're like, okay, all right, God, I'll take that first step, but I'm gonna need you to move this other foot.
Because Codeswitch I've always been pregnant with, but I wasn't mature enough to handle it. I wasn't even stable mentally to even know how to manage a nonprofit. And yes, it's in the beginning stages, but I wasn't even ready for the first step 5 years ago or 3 years ago, you know. But as we mature, he then grants us and anoints us to do what we need to do. And bit by bit, as we go from glory to glory to glory, you know, people want to get to the glory, but what about the in-between stage? You know, that's the two, you know, and in that
Yeah.
is with some shifts. And, you know, we can't operate as the same person that we did a year ago. You know, he transforms us to be able to carry the responsibilities of managing a business. You know, you want to write the book, write the book. You know, you want to own a house, you don't need to wait for a man to come along and own a house. Get your finances in order. Start seeing what you need to do. Face the giant and start planning and becoming homeowner. I had to tell myself I was worthy of these things. You know, I never allowed my children to stop me from pursuing purpose or anything. Even when people were trying to tell me I was not ready for something because they were looking at, I either had one child at the time or 4. I had to block them out. And even when I was pursuing my undergrad degree, people didn't think it was a good idea. They thought I was going to drop out, actually, because by then I was pregnant with the second child. And
Wow.
God told me, sitting in class, I had to bring my babies with class to me a couple of times. And he told me, he says, I want you to make your moves quietly. And that was to block out the naysayers. I am learning it is okay when we are helping someone and we are working towards something, and we may actually fail at what we are trying to tell people not to do. What we do have to be careful of, and I'm speaking to us as women, what we do have to be careful of is being sure we don't pay any attention to the naysayers. And we ourselves can be the naysayer. You know,
Yeah.
I'm learning, like, you know, it's teaching me something that I've actually failed in the very thing I've been teaching and preaching to people about. But that's okay. That's okay. It's just another level of teaching, another level of learning and maturity. But what's not okay is if I'm going to listen to the naysayers. So in pursuing any goal as that woman, when you detach yourself as being single parent, that you're this woman. You're this woman that you're going to make your moves quietly, to keep out the naysayers, and to recognize that you may be a naysayer too, you know. So just take the first step, your moves quietly, and just do it, because you're worthy of it. You're worthy of all these things. Yes, you're worthy of it.
Yeah, that is awesome. And that is, if the butterflies weren't encouraged about anything else, it's definitely feeling worthy. Because like you said, there's times as single moms where we can feel unworthy. Some things we may feel like life is going good, but if something is too good to be true, we can talk ourselves out of anything. Definitely that thing that we feel is too good to be true. I know that I've done that in the past, and even sometimes, you know, within this year, I'm like, I don't know. You know, you begin to feel a little unworthy, but then you're like, God didn't give it to me if I wasn't worthy.
Yes. Yes, it says in Isaiah 62 how he crowns us with a royal diadem, and he actually gives us a new name. So really, how people used to identify me as this woe is me single mother, I don't even identify with anymore at all. I don't even, I know this may sound strange, but I don't even recognize the term single mother. When someone actually brings it up and says, oh, you're a single mother, I'm like, oh yeah, I am. I mean, God has restored me so much. I used to even be embarrassed about having 4 children and never been married. But I was reading a scripture in the book of Song, and all of a sudden it lifted that I didn't have to be embarrassed anymore, that I had 4 children. I start giving myself permission to date. I mean,
yeah,
because I'm this woman. I am.
uh-huh.
I even sometimes if the bills are a little bit short, I will still check into a hotel if I can, to get away,
Right.
because I'm a woman.
Yeah. And you're right. And that's the thing, like beyond single motherhood. That's a true example of beyond single motherhood, of realizing our worthiness and taking care of ourselves, and doing the thing, if we can, doing what you want to do,
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if, sometimes I tell moms, well, now most of us aren't working in a particular location, but to take the long way home if you can sometimes, to give yourself that moment away, and that moment of quietness and stillness in between leaving your job or leaving the church before you see your kids again, because we all need that moment where we can kind of, I guess you can say, turn off the mommy brain and just turn on the woman that you are and who you were before, and maybe even the new woman, like you said, with becoming a new person, a new woman as we mature, Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah. So the uncertainty we have, go ahead and start what you're doing. We have the remember that you're a woman and remember who you are in Christ, and just going forward, taking that one step and, just asking God to move the other foot. And that is something, I mean, there's a lot of takeaways from from our conversation tonight. And I hope that you butterflies are able to grasp, even if it's just a little something, to go to tomorrow or to go to the next minute or whatever the case may be. And with what's going on now, and that's closing out Single Moms Month, the celebration, what's some advice that you can give single moms with dealing with the things that are to come that we don't know? We don't know if we're going to go into a real shutdown where things really are going to be closed. I know now we're kind of supposed to do the minimum. We can go to the store, but you need to come back home. We should be inside. If you can work from home, then you work from home. But what's some advice that you can give single moms as we close out, like dealing with what's to come next, even though we don't know what it is?
It really is just taking it moment by moment, day by day. We will worry ourselves to death, to pieces, worrying about what's next. We can't overthink it. Most women we're thinkers, we overthink, but it's not something you can overthink. We don't know. Someone had told me, we were talking about the COVID-19, and I had said, you know what, but God's got it. They got offended, but there is no other, there's nothing, I mean, he does have it.
Yeah.
He's got it. There's, he's got it. There's a plan in it all, so it's really about staying focused on the positives. You know, you might get some time with your children. Even, you know, some single parents might have desired to be home and work from home so they can teach their children at home. Well, this is the time. You know, some single parents, we're constantly rushing because of the multiple responsibilities. So it could be where you can't fix your children a forlorn breakfast. Well, now you can. You know, you can fix them a hot breakfast in the morning and don't have to rush each one out the door like I do. Like, let's go. Have you brushed your teeth? You didn't brush them? Okay, fine, we gotta go. You know, it's a
Yeah.
from that.
Uh-huh.
You know? So really, it's you can't worry about tomorrow. You know, it's really about taking it day by day. One thing that has helped me is Proverbs 16:3, I believe it says, commit your works to the Lord and he will establish your thoughts. Even when I have a to-do list, I commit that to-do list to him. I say, okay, God, here's what I have to do today. Got to go to the doctor. I got to do this within this time frame, but it is still your day. So I'm going to let you have this list. And what happens is I have found whenever I do that, he allows me extra time in the day to get everything I need to get done because I put his to-do list first. And so
Wow.
that's my final point before we close out is that commit your to-do list to God. Whatever you got to do that day, you got to get some groceries in before 6. You know, you got to get this going with the kids. You got to get homework in. Write your to-do list, commit it to God, and take it bit by bit. And he gives you extra time. I've seen it happen over and over again. When I wake up, it's the first thing I say, God, I commit this day to you. Thank you for every provision that you're making. Thank you that you have already worked things out before I arrive on the scene, God. You know, and he does it and the day goes smoothly. And even when little hiccups come and obstacles, I'm not in a frantic like I used to be because I committed my entire day to him. Yes, amen. Commit your
Yeah, amen. That I love that too. So LaToya, tell the butterflies how they can follow you on social media.
on social media. Oh my gosh, I've had to get used to it. Instagram, the butterflies can follow me, Codeswitch, which is spelled CODESWITCH, Codeswitch _ LaToya Wilson. Facebook, they can follow Codeswitch Ministries. And on my personal Facebook page, it's just LaToya Wilson. They can also contact me through email, which is codeswitchministries@gmail.com. So yes, that's all the social media I can handle. I can't do the Twitter and this and that and TikTok, and I can't keep up.
I'm with you. I can't keep up either. You got Snapchat, you got all these things. Yeah, I prefer to stay in my lane too.
I know where I belong. Instagram and Facebook, and I'm sorry, the website too, which is codeswitchministries.com. But that's all I got. That's all.
Look, that I understand, and thank you so much for joining me for this closeout Monday, you know, of our Beyond Single Motherhood chat. And thank you for all that you do for, you know, for the single moms, and with, you know, listening to God and just letting him lead you. I'm excited to see, and we talked about this, what's to come in the next year, because, you know, we met a year ago almost, and it's like next year and the next year and the next year, and we know that it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Yes.
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 Yes. Yeah, so thank you for joining us tonight. And butterflies, please be sure to follow LaToya, and so that you can participate and to join in with what she's doing. She also does things where she can receive donations for with the diaper. What is it called again? Diaper Dash?
Well, we're having a diaper dash. It's planned for June 6th, summer kickoff diaper dash. So it's about bringing families together for a day of fun, but the admission is diapers. So it's still on the books. We don't know how things are going to go. So that's June 6th. And then we have a pop-up outreach scheduled for April 18th. The location is TBA because of things have changed, but those are the two upcoming events: pop-up outreach April 18th, and the summer kickoff diaper bash, which is raising diapers for single parents, and a portion of it will be given to Greater Roads Hampton Diaper Bank. So that's June 6th. So we'll see what happens day by day. But yes, absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. So that is awesome. And thank you again. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.